What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Science of Exercise. So I recently started a series called the Rant podcast. The Rant podcast is for research, affect, nutrition, and training. And these are all areas within the exercise science realm. The first guest that we have on for episode 3 is Dr. Nic Martinez. Dr. Nic Martinez is a professor out of the University of South Florida. His area of expertise lies in mental toughness and performance. So definitely in that affect or psychological realm. So in this podcast, we talked for quite some time, and we got some golden nuggets of information. The first one is the difference between high-level and low-level performers. How do we differentiate the difference between the two? Without further ado, here is Dr. Nic Martinez's answer.
The individual that deals with stress and is able to cope with it also has some of these mental toughness attributes that we'll likely talk about here in the near future, whereas the other one does not. And so I think that is where you have a game changer. And really sometimes individuals that maybe are not equal in skill, attributes, and their abilities maybe have the underdog day because the person that has the heightened skills and attributes just has a lack of mental toughness that day or a lack of drive to overcome challenges that they're faced with. And so an underdog situation, we see it happen in horse racing. The underdog can win. And what's that about? It's not their physical or their physical attributes. It could be something more related to the mental stuff that's happening.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. You could have all the talent in the world, but when it gets time to show that talent, not just at a showcase, but actually in a game situation, can you arise and show those talents? And that's really what it comes down to. And I think that's the difference maker between those two individuals that you were speaking on. One person can show those talents with that ability to handle those stressors, and then the other one kind of falters. It could still have more talent and potentially not even show it. So I completely agree.
Can still have more talent, yes.
Yeah.
And so you talked a little bit earlier about me being involved with boxing, and
right.
I started to gravitate more toward the ideas and the concepts related to mental toughness and stress management after being involved in that sport and training individuals for strength conditioning in that sport, because that's what I started to see. Being ringside, you see individuals that have equal talent, but maybe one wins the day over the other. And it's likely when you strip everything down, all those comparisons that we talked about, what you have is someone that has a will or a spirit to overcome. And in that particular sport, there's a lot of pain management that goes involved with it and a whole nother level of mental toughness. Yeah. And so I think that's an area that people can draw on quite a bit. There's a lot of idioms in life that we look at related to boxing. And you probably heard me say this before, like when you get knocked down, what do? You get back up. And
I think I've heard that once or twice from you.
You've heard that a few times.
Just once or twice.
There's a few of them. And so we draw on boxing quite a bit to sort of define some of these mental toughness attributes in daily life, whether we realize it or not. It's one of those sports that we do draw on.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys for joining me on the Rant podcast. I hope you guys liked it. If you guys have anything else you want to say or anything you want me to try to interview on or anybody you would like me to try to reach out to interview, I'm more than willing to give it a shot. I mean, pretty much a big shot on the tube at this point. So, I'm sure we could get on Joe Rogan's, no problem. Got a wolf up here. A little podcast microphone because, we're podcasting now. Got a little circle thingy. This is pretty cool looking, a little sphere. And, we're out in the woods. It's Florida, so all we got is palm trees here. So now we're feeling a little earthy up in here. Oh, and I got a succulent. A little succulent right there. Pretty cool. So I feel like, we're doing bigger things around these parts. got some new paint action going on, even a new curtain over here. So, doing big things.